Okay, hello guys, welcome to the meeting with EM Academy and Speedfulfill. Our meeting today is about Speedfulfill presenting themselves, but also what you're gonna do and not do during Q4. Okay, Mark, do you have the camera? Are you here? Oh, let's see. Mr. Mark from Speedfulfill here. For you who don't know me, and for those of you who haven't heard about EM Academy or Speedfulfill, EM Academy is a company working with dropshipping and e-commerce, and have students and also a Discord community for all our members. Many of them are here tonight as well. And Speedfulfill is one of our partners that helped a lot of students to scale their products. And we have actually one of our students or members that scaled it for, I think it's over $1,500,000 or euros. Let me present Mark, which is one of the co-owners and one of my contact person in Speedfulfill. So Mark, take it away. Who are you? And let people know about you.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Yeah, thank you for the warm introduction, Tony. Lovely to see and meet the E Academy one more time again. Like Tony just mentioned, we're Speedfulfill. We are a dropshipping fulfillment company, and we help dropshippers to source, fulfill, and ship out products from China to global markets. And today I will get straight into our meeting, which is basically about Black Friday, and we're going to share our perspective as suppliers, how you guys can try to execute your Black Friday sales. So Black Friday, everyone is excited because it's the best time of the year. And yeah, before I get into it, I'll just ask Tony one more time, maybe for I think he's done with the introductions. I think everyone is quite pleased with what Tony has done and what everyone has done. I mean, I think it's always a wonderful community, I think, with a very strong foundation. And yeah, so we thought Tony would be video calling us from the beach in Cyprus today.
Yeah, I almost did it. And to just fill in on what Mark is saying, it will be about Black Friday, because Q4 is a lot about Black Friday, but it will also be, of course, Cyber Monday, which is just a couple of days from that, and all the tips and things you get. It's not just Q4; it's also for Christmas and what you're gonna do during these 3 months. That is crazy sales in. You had something to share, I guess, Mark. No.
Yeah, I had something to share, and like I said, I'm really excited to meet everyone. We have some guys from the EM Academy who are with our fulfillment, and yeah, we just wanted to thank you, number one, for your confidence in us. We're always trying to improve, and today I think we'll talk mainly about Black Friday, and then at the end we'll have a Q&A, and yeah, hope some of you guys can jump into the conversation as well. All right, so just a quick presentation that I had, especially that's going to cover our topic today. So like we said, Speedfulfill and EM Academy, thank you for hosting us on this live webinar. We're going to talk about Black Friday shortly. So today I will talk about mainly 5 topics, and we'll start with an introduction, talking about what Black Friday is, going into strategies, some key data, and then also just going into a few winners from Black Friday last year. All right, so quick introduction, like I said, Speedfulfill, we offer dropshipping services, including sourcing, free warehousing, one-on-one customer support, also same-day fulfillment. We have photo and video, and we also have an autopilot application on the Shopify App Store. So you could check us out at Speedfulfill. So today's topic, we're talking about Black Friday. So we're at the end of October, and Black Friday is the last Friday of the month. And to begin with the topic, what is Black Friday? I think most of us are very familiar. We've shopped in Black Friday in the past when we were younger. So did some research online, and I think Black Friday basically started off in the US following their Thanksgiving, which should be the last Thursday of November. So the day after that, I think this is where Black Friday evolved, and you had deals And later in the mid 2000s, you had Cyber Monday. So basically, we have this long weekend when we as e-commerce sellers expect massive sales that peak during the year. And I think it originally came from a lot of sellers, not only e-commerce, trying to get rid of stock for the year. So before the end of the year, they give crazy deals on products. And this is, I guess, the birth of Black Friday. So in general, I think most of you guys are already well researched on Black Friday. I'm not here to give the tips basically in terms of marketing and other
But don't worry, Mark, I have it. After you speak, I have actually a couple of slides to show what to think about and how to do this. So I have this prepared as well.
Exactly. So that's what I was thinking. When it comes to ad strategies, I think EM Academy is your go-to place. And today we'll talk about the perspective of logistics. So how do you guys navigate the supply chain? I will talk about some logistics strategies that you guys may encounter on Black Friday for your e-commerce stores. So in general, I think there are 5 topics that we'll talk about. The first one, of course, is about inventory. So when we're talking about inventory, we're talking about stock with manufacturers in China. Most of the companies that EM Academy or dropshippers in general are in contact with are usually suppliers or third-party logistics, such as Speedfulfill and other companies. So we are basically a reflection of the factory. So the factory, of course, produces in masses, and then they are able to sell to companies like Speedfulfill, who are able to store these products and ship out door to door to your customers. So during Black Friday, especially with winners, you're always going to experience stock issues. So make sure that you find out from your supplier today how much stock of your product, if you have a winning product, how much stock you actually have with how much stock the factory is able to have during Black Friday. There's also another factor. Before Black Friday, you have a Chinese holiday on the 11th of November. So that is called Singles Day. So it's also as big. And what happens is most of the winners that you have during this period may also be out of stock. So make sure you have an honest and trustworthy supplier who is going to be able to tell you about what is the stock situation of certain products. Because as soon as you get to Black Friday, you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you're about to scale or you're in the middle of scaling and you have stock issues. So make sure you prepare your inventory in advance, especially for some of you who already have winners. So make sure that your winner is well stocked. You have all the color variants in stock. If you have the cash flow, the best would be obviously to purchase that with your supplier and have it in the warehouse. So this means even if the factory runs out of stock, you're able to fulfill yourself. So make sure you prepare well for your inventory during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the way till Christmas. And secondly, with Black Friday, I think Tony just mentioned that you will be talking about your ad strategies as you guys are the marketers. When it comes to your supplier, make sure you ask for some value-added services that you could use. So when you come to value-added services, you have popular options such as, buy one, get one free, buy two, get one free. What is your supplier quoting you for 1, 2, or 3 pieces? Also, try to see how you can get some packaging that would give a good unboxing experience. Of course, the reality is with dropshipping, sometimes with suppliers some suppliers may not understand the difference between a brand and a dropshipping store. So make sure that you communicate well and you mention to them how you want it to be packaged. Also, when it comes to gift cards, stickers, bundles, if you have a bright idea and it's something relatively affordable that you could add to what you're already selling or upselling, then this is a good thing that you could ask your supplier. So make sure you ask for some value-added services, customization, branding, some photography, and I'm sure you guys are going to give as many deals on your store as possible. So try to ask if your supplier can also try to coordinate with you on giving some of these discounts and services. Then The third one is ask your supplier for reliable shipping lines during this period. So when you fulfill with a third-party supplier, third-party suppliers or forwarders or others are called private agents. They all, or we all, use international logistics that are relatively cheaper than your high-end FedEx, DHL, but they're also quite convenient because they have relatively fast shipping times from China to Europe or the US. And some of these have they have different shipping lines. So you have the main ones. I think most of us are familiar with UniExpress. So try to find out which shipping line you are going to use during Black Friday. So in general, most of the shipping lines during that peak time, I think Black Friday will be on the 24th. You're going to expect some delays of, let's say, 1 to 2 days. So I think this should just be in the back of your mind when you are going to be fulfilling during this period. Depending on your supplier, you could ask them which shipping lines is the best to use at that time. In general, UniExpress is quite reliable, but because they're the biggest in terms of international logistics, they may not be the fastest. So you also have options like 4PX, you have CNE, you have Yanwen, and others may also use Wise, for example. So ask your supplier which shipping line that they're going to use for your product or what shipping line you've been quoted for, and try to make some analysis or try to ask your supplier which one would be the best to use to ship to your target market. If it's Sweden or Norway, Denmark, or the US.
Yeah, but Mark, let's say that people want to ship to Sweden. What's your experience? Which shipping line is the fastest when it comes around Black Friday and this 2-3 hysterical months that it is? What's your experience from this? Is CNE the best? And people, especially in Sweden, they talk about, okay, should I do it with PostNord or should I do it with another company? What's your thought about this during Black Friday and during the Q4 period?
That's a good question, because with Sweden, I think UniExpress is the biggest for sure. UniExpress is quite big, but I think you would be safe going with 4PX or CNE, in my opinion. CNE is quite reliable in red over here. So if you can ask for a CNE shipping line, CNE is quite consistent. Because what you have, especially with the very popular question, is how long is the shipping time? So usually logistics give a range. So you have your 8. So usually I think with UniExpress, it's relatively longer. It's about 8 to 15. 8 to 15 days, 8 to 15 shipping days. So you could get anything from between 8 to 15 shipped out Sweden. So in general, CNE, I think CNE does 6 to 10. And then 4PX does 6 to 11, 6 to 12. Considering that UniExpress is going to be, if you're looking for reliability, I think you should go with UniExpress. If you're not really, if your customers don't really need it within a week per se. If you're not looking to get it within 2 weeks, if that makes sense. So UniExpress will take about 2 weeks, and then 4PX and CNE will take about 8 days. So I think that decision is up to the dropshipper. Yeah, someone has a question.
Yes, Mr. Strand, welcome in,
Yeah.
Mr. Strand, ask your question.
I've been working with both GSR and now you guys for a couple of weeks or so.
Okay.
And I noticed when I got orders, when you fulfill them, I never get to choose the shipping line. What preference sense do you use to choose my shipping line for me? Because I have a shipping time basically 10 to 12 days with 4PX to Sweden right now. And now it's not a big order issue. Q4 Black Friday is much worse. So how do you deal with that? Because I never get the question, what line should we take? You obviously choose it for me. And that's fine for me, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, so that's a good question, Jonas. So basically, when you are quoted for a price, usually it's based on the price target that you're looking for. So most different shipping lines have different quotations. So I think most of the times you're given the one that is cheaper, because most of the time dropshippers are looking for the cheapest quotation. So the shipping cost that's quoted for you is usually maybe the cheaper one. But if you have a preference, you can ask your supplier and say, I want a quotation for this product using this shipping line. And then you'll be able to get that.
Yeah, for sure. When you choose the cheaper one, are there big differences in the quality of the product? Because I noticed I can buy one product from 3 different places and the quality is a big difference.
I can continue answering that question when it comes to this. Usually, when the supplier or the agent is choosing company, they try to always choose the best quality for the cheapest price. This is their main goal, and this is what they want because that's actually what you want. So this is one of the ways they work with it. And I've been working with, I would say, 8-9 different suppliers, and this is always like that. But one thing I recommend you guys is always be on top and always be connected to your agent and speak with them and have the communication. And communication is not just writing on WhatsApp or writing on a messenger or whatever you write. You should have the connection like we have it right now with Mark. You should make sure to have meetings, especially if you are starting to scale products. Make sure to have a meeting with your agent. And if they don't want a meeting with you, web meeting or a Zoom meeting, then that's not an agent for you guys. That's my honest opinion on this.
Good advice. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah. Okay, Mark, you're back. China shut down the internet or what?
The connection is made in China.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I don't know where I ended with Jonas, but that was a good question. So in general, I was saying that most suppliers will quote you usually based on your price target. So if you're looking for the cheapest option, usually they'll quote you for that cheapest option. So if you want a preferred shipping line, then you best select that shipping line and ask them and request them and say, I would want my product to be shipped via a certain shipping company. But there is another factor because, for example, if your product is lightweight or very small, you're better off going with the smaller companies, I would say, like 4PX and CNE. But if you have a larger product, like heavier, almost 500 grams to 1 kg, you're better off going with Unexpress. So that's the way. So I think the supplier usually picks it for you, but you can ask why you picked that shipping line, and then you'll be given an explanation.
Yeah, thanks.
And one thing I would recommend all you guys, when you do this, because this is the way I work, and I think everybody should work like this, because some products you want to have a little bit faster shipping with, and some products you just cannot, even if you want the fastest shipping, it's not viable for you when it comes to figures. So what I would recommend you, when you want to source a product and you send out a quotation to whatever agent you use, also ask for the different shipping lanes, what the price difference is. In this way, you can already from start say, okay, when I test the product, I will take the one which is cheapest. But if I see that the product is flying and the product is doing good, then I need to do better because I need the customer satisfaction and I need to increase it. Then you can also, in that moment, you can try to change to another shipping line. This is the way I work, and I always work with this to make sure that my figures are correct. Because if you don't have the figures with you, then you don't have anything. You think you are making a lot of money, but in the end, Mark is rich and Mark Zuckerberg is rich, and you are sitting there with pennies. No? What do you say, Mark?
Yeah, no, exactly. I think I think that's a very good strategy. Like you could test with a cheaper line. Once you have good results, proof of concept, then you could ask for a more premium line. Yeah, that's a good one. Great. And then the fourth one, I think we're just coming up to a similar topic, which is the last mile courier. So during Black Friday, everybody has a preference on their last mile courier. I think here was specific to Sweden. I wanted to also point out the fact that, so suppliers here, we actually depend on these international couriers like Unexpress. So they are the companies that collaborate with the last mile couriers. So for example, I think, for example, CNE, as an example, CNE will collaborate mainly with Early Bird. So you find a situation where all products that are quoted for CNE will eventually be in Sweden, be shipped out using early bird. And then, for example, 4PX company collaborates with PostNord. So 4PX all 4PX quotations will be shipped out through PostNord. So you need to ask your account manager or your supplier who is your last mile courier. And there are complicated situations. For example, Unexpress works with both. So in my experience, I don't know about other suppliers. With Unexpress, it's very hard to select which one you want. So they will select, for example, depending on depending on the location, will use one last mile courier and another will use another last mile courier. Last but not least is an inventory management system. I think this is similar to what we discussed in the first point about stock levels. So obviously emphasizing the fact that there's going to be a lot of pressure in terms of on the supply chain, and factories will be producing a lot, and finding what factories do actually is the English word is they line up. I would say they line up orders. So they usually line up orders based on the biggest to the smallest. So that's what they would do. So for example, they say, okay, this order is for client A with 10,000 orders, and they ship that out. Then this order is for client A with 5,000 orders, and they ship that out. So usually you find that the smaller end usually is under a lot of pressure because there's a lot of instability. That's why you find like a lot of suppliers, this is very common with suppliers. 1 minute you're scaling, next minute your account manager is telling you there's no stock. So make sure that your account manager or your supplier is always in contact with the factory so that they know that your product is in stock or is not in stock, and then they can communicate with you. And then one thing which I didn't write down here is also communication, which is something that we try to do at Speedfulfill, is because in as much as we are a reflection of the factory, there's a lot of pressure on us as well. So sometimes clients may feel like we are the ones out of stock, and it's not anything deliberate. It's just the factory is out of stock and we can't do anything. So usually some companies may not communicate this. So with our account managers, we tell them always communicate with clients in advance so that we can find a plan B or a plan C on how we can deal with the situation. So this is how usually it works realistically most of the time, especially with stock issues. And then for those of you who already have a winner and then are about to scale, so make sure that obviously that the inventory management system is accurate, so that you know how much stock you have, so that you know using your cash flow when you are supposed to actually refill your stock. So I know that some suppliers may not be, we had this problem in the past, it wasn't very accurate. And if you don't know how much stock you have here on the other side of the world, it's very hard for you guys to plan. So make sure that you have an inventory management system. I think we've been using this on our application. Those of you who have tried our application, there is an inventory management system. And yeah, this is something that you guys should consider for Black Friday.
I would say this is very important thing, because the thing is, when it comes to orders, you don't think about it. And many people, especially if this is the first time you're going into Black Friday and you already have a winning product, if you're selling 100 every day, I promise you during this Black Week or also all the way to Christmas, if you're selling 100 now, you will sell 200 or 300 or 400 even every week or every day. It will scale like that. So be prepared and make sure to buy in a little bit extra than you need. And Mark, sorry for saying this, but also communicate with your supplier. Is it possible to, if I don't sell all the products, can I return some of it if you want to stock up? Usually they are okay with, okay, if you buy 500, then 50 of them you can return in advance. And in this way, you can be really prepared for doing it the right way. Because the worst thing is somebody ordering something and they don't get it for Christmas, or they give it 1 week later. And many times it's not because of the agent, it's usually because of the factory. The factory, they don't cope with all the orders that are coming in.
That's 100% correct. Usually it's like you said, the factory usually is very unstable sometimes, especially for smaller orders. And it's especially with Christmas sales, like Tony just mentioned, I think it's easier to target Black Friday because once someone has bought something on Black Friday, usually with a supplier, of course, we do have pressure to ship out as fast as possible, but the customer is not expecting it on a certain date.
Yeah.
So as opposed to Christmas. So if you order something for Christmas, somebody ordered that a week in advance. And now the pressure is on us. When I mean us, us as a team, Speedfulfill, and the dropshipping community, just to fulfill that order within that week. Yeah, so that's a good point you just mentioned. I think, especially with Christmas sales, we didn't talk too much about Christmas. We were mostly on Black Friday. I tried to make sure those, especially with the advertisements, that after that shipping range of 6 to 12 days is already done, maybe it would be a good idea maybe to turn off the Christmas ad or something. Yeah, that might be a way to go around it. I'm not sure what the mentor thinks, Tony, on Christmas.
No, but it's like this, and what I would also recommend you guys, usually I'm not super good at it. I don't go and double check and triple check, is my order sent out or is it fulfilled or not? But during this period, make sure to check that, okay, if the orders are made, the orders that was made yesterday or the day before, are they fulfilled or not? If they are not fulfilled, communicate with the agent, communicate with your supplier, because it could be that they have a lot to do or they missed out something. And I myself, it's not specifically for Speedfulfill, and everybody of you has also felt it. Sometimes orders are fulfilled, but when you check, maybe it's 1 order or 2 orders or 5 orders that is not fulfilled because the system didn't catch it up, because it's an app that is working together. So what I would recommend you, so don't get problems with Klarna or whatever payment system it is, make sure that your orders are fulfilled. During this period, especially around Black Friday and Cyber Monday, also the month before Christmas, make sure, go in and check to see that your orders are fulfilled. And if it's not, communicate with your agent to see how you can do this. Another recommendation I have, this is not the best one, but if it's like scaling up and you have a lot of orders on hand and the supplier is waiting for the shipment from the factory, and it's been 1 week or 1.5 weeks, and you said, okay, Shopify will give me issues, Shopify will give me problems. One thing I could recommend you to do, or not to do, you decide how you do it, is to talk with your supplier and see if you can check them fulfilled just in advance, so you don't get any issues with Shopify and also with your payment providers. This is a super good thing. And if you have the good communication with your supplier, this won't be an issue and nobody will react on this. But the worst thing you can get on Black Friday, it's a ban from Klarna or ban from payment provider, and worst thing is from Facebook. And all this could happen because it's a delay, and the delay is normal. And this is also not just for dropshipping. This is in all business. It will be the same thing. The only thing is that we are in the hands of Shopify and we are in the hands of Facebook, and we need to do the best thing we can do to prevent this scenario, basically.
Yeah, that's actually good tips on problems with payment providers. I think you have to make sure, like you said, communicate, be strong with your communication. I think, like Tony said, don't let your guard down, if it makes sense, and just ask your account manager, especially communicate with them. If you don't have the cash flow at that point, have you uploaded my tracking numbers? And that way, Shopify will be able to see that, okay, this tracking has been uploaded. It may not be updated in 2 to 3 days, but at least it's been uploaded. That's very important, right? So, and then, yeah, just to end the presentation, I think these are just some general key data, just something online, not really verified, but yeah, just some trends. I think this is just in general. I think last year, we as e-commerce, and this is based in the US, I think, $9 billion. And then I think the dominance of online sales, I think 63% of the sales accounted for were online. I mean, obviously, this is going to be increasing. Most people are shopping online. And then also, I think with consumer behavior, I'm not sure about Sweden, but apparently there's not many people don't need to actually wait until Black Friday. So you have deals that you could do even before. And then most popular Black Friday deals, for sure, electronics, clothing, and toys. I think I would agree with electronics and clothing. Yeah, I think clothing usually in general does really well. Although, of course, you guys know we're very saturated, but yeah, something, special clothing definitely is a good deal. And as I think is mainly obvious, most people are using mobile devices. So obviously you guys' websites are very mobile friendly, so I don't need to talk more about that. And then lastly, I think before we get here, I did mention to Tony that we'll try to share some products with you guys today. So in general, like at Speedfulfill, it's very difficult because we are very confidential about clients' products. So I had to be very selective. And these are products that sold well last year. And I wouldn't say, yeah, they are winners. They have good traction.
Mark, I'm gonna stop you there because me and Mark, we had a small meeting a couple of minutes before this meeting starts, and he started to mention a product, and this product resembled a lot of one of my winning products. And he said, this is you do this with this. I won't tell what it is. And I asked Mark, you know what? Isn't that my product you're trying to show everybody? Yeah. And he said, yeah, it's a winning product. So it was really good last year. I said, no, don't talk about that. So sorry, Mark, but I had to tell it. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one of the products. So, we sometimes share products and sometimes, it may be a winner from you guys. So these are just general products that sold last year. And if it's your winner, we will not make it obvious that it's your winner. So actually, it's just general products that I have here. Nothing to, and I think mainly just explaining I think you guys as drop shippers, usually you look at, am I right, Tony? It's a problem solver or a wow factor, right? That's what usually.
Or the best would be the combination of those two.
Combination, okay. Yeah, so what would advise from the supplier is like, for example, jewelry.
Can't you go to the camera and show it? Yeah. Oh, advanced guy.
There we
go.
Wrong way. There's nothing special about this, just to show you guys jewelry. The reason why I think we picked jewelry, number one, I think people at Black Friday would want to give, gifts to someone special. Number two, it's very lightweight. So you're getting a quotation very cheap and it has high value. So this, for us suppliers, is really easy to ship out. Also easy to customize. So jewelry is definitely a go-to for Black Friday. Very lightweight, which I think wherever you're going to quote it, you're going to get a cheap shipping cost for this because it's very light. And then what do we have here? This, I'm not sure if it's a winner. I found it in the warehouse earlier on. I haven't seen, I only saw last year somebody scale this. This is a hot water bottle, but it has obviously, not really an expert, but I guess it's the wow factor. It's winter coming and it has different animals. Unfortunately, I don't have the AliExpress link. You guys may check it out if you could remember it. So it's basically like a water bottle, and then it's got different animals on it. So could be something that you guys might want to consider. Also, I think quite lightweight. It is quite big because for us as the supplier, we're looking at those two factors, weight and volume as well. So that could be something to look at. I wouldn't say this is a winner, but I just found this earlier. This sold really well past 2 years. I'm pretty sure someone here sold this.
What is it? We don't see what it is.
This is the clothing stamp.
Yeah. It's a big winner. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure someone has sold it. I'm not sure if it suits the Black Friday occasion, but definitely a winner. And I think for those of you, it's just basically a clothing stamp. I think it's for kids. So you could put kids' names here. And then whenever they wash their clothes, should open up. Yeah, then you have your kid's name. It's very personalized. So I think whenever somebody makes an order, they have their name and then they stamp it on their clothing. Yeah. And then just the last two. This one, I mean, this is a niche that I think a lot of people maybe overlook, but yeah, quite. I'm not sure if this is kitchen or bathroom, but yeah, this one is really good. I think this people are very familiar with this one. This was last year. Yeah, this one is really good. Good quality as well. Yeah, this is really good. And then last but not least, I honestly haven't seen, I mean, from our side, anyone sell this. This is like, for those of you who like the pet niche, a dog sofa. So I wish I could open it up. So when it opens up, it really expands. So it's a dog sofa. And yeah, so it's shipped out and compacted like this. And then when it's unboxed, it opens up into a dog sofa. Yeah.
Okay, Jonas have a question. Strand, welcome into the game again.
Yeah, just a quick one, because that last one, shipping on that one, the dog bed or what it's, yeah, that one. How's the shipping on that one? Because I tried to get sourced through GSR a couple of times, that product, but the shipping is almost always eating the margin profit because it's so expensive to ship. Do you have any new take on that with your shipping companies? Because the June is very expensive to ship that one.
That's true, because looking at the volume, it's quite big. I think the only way that this could probably be shipped out is, number one, it has to be, which is not the best, it has to be compacted under higher pressure than this. I don't know if this is correct. You could let us know.
Do you vacuum seal it before shipping so it gets smaller?
Exactly. So once you vacuum seal it, then I think it can get a little bit more compact than this. There's still some air pockets here. So once this is vacuumed, we did ship this out last year. So I'm not sure about our quotation compared to other companies, but I'm also sure I think it wasn't Unexpress. There should be other companies that could also quote this. So maybe you could ask for more options to quote the dog sofa. But this one definitely is a win. I think people are distracted by the size of it, but it can actually be compacted. Yeah.
Okay, amazing, Mark. You had a last slide. Please put it up again if somebody wants to come to contact with you, and guys. And after that, we're going over to, I will give you my best tips I have of what you're gonna think about and what you can do during the upcoming month.
Great. No, this is just our conclusion. In case you guys are looking for an option for Black Friday, you could check out Speedfulfill. We have a fulfillment app on Shopify. And like I said, I think with the EM Academy, we always keep it very, honest with everything that we go through. And to be honest, like, I think you should always have a backup plan. Like whenever you have a supplier, have a backup plan, especially with pricing, and also with, anything can happen in Q4. So we're a great option for sure. www.speedfulfill.com. You could ask Tony for our contact. And I think these were just general tips. I think the best would be always have a backup, to be honest. Yeah. So that's all that I had. And then Tony will take it away now with the second part.
Thank you. And it will be opportunities to ask questions to Mark. If you have some questions, you just guys raise your hands and I let you guys, ask the questions. What I will do, I will share a couple of slides. It's not big, it's not super much, but it's important stuff that I would say take away with you as a dropshipper. This is very important. And if you guys have any questions when I show you these pictures, please just raise your hand and I try to answer them as good as possible. And before I start, I just want to say, I know it's a couple of people here, it's not Swedish speaking. The slides will be in Swedish, but I'll talk in English. So hopefully you will understand anyway. Okay, Robin has a question. So Robin, shoot.
Yeah, hello. I have a question to you, Mark. Is it, can you image search products on Speedfulfill? Because I know on like CJ Dropshipping you can, but I was on the Speedfulfill website and I didn't find something like that. Because sometimes when I'm like stealing products from someone, I want to image search and I can't find it when I search normally.
I have a good answer to this, but you answer first, Mark.
No, go ahead, Tony.
Okay, Robin, the thing is, when you work with an agent, CG Dropshipping is something, and all this other Zendrop and thing, they are the one. If you find a shop and you don't find the link on AliExpress or anything, what you can do, you can try to quote this and take the link from your your concurrent and send it to Mark and his team, and they will try to find the product for you. So you don't need to do this search, picture search and everything. They will sort this out for you. Me myself, sometimes some products I don't find them in AliExpress, and these products are the best ones actually if you don't find them there, because it's not many people searching for them, and even they are trying to search, they do like most dropshippers, which are lazy. They search and they do Google image search and everything, and they don't find it, and say, okay, it's not there, so I don't do my job with that. So what I would recommend, if you find a product and you really want this, what you do, you take a picture of it, you send it, or the website of your concurrent, you send it to them, and they do the work for you. This is how the partnership works, especially when you work with an agent. And I can actually tell you about a situation I had in the summer. I don't know if you remember it, Mark, or not, but it was during Swedish Midsummer. I had a product, and I know I got it from AliExpress or somewhere more than 1 year ago. And I tried this out during Midsummer, and I said, okay, this is working. This is super good product. I didn't have anything. I had just the product in my hand. I took a picture and I sent it to Mark. And I told Mark, can you please find this product for me? And within 48 hours, okay, this is it. This is from this factory. Here's your quotation. And we ended up actually branding that product as well.
Well said. Exactly.
Was it the answer to your question, Robin?
Yeah, it did. But can I ask how long time does it usually take? Because sometimes I see products and I just build a store and run ads on the same night, basically.
Okay, this is the question that Mark can answer, I guess.
Yeah, I think the first one was answered. You could send us a picture directly. And then the second one was how long? Am I right? How long does the quotation take?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question. So we have usually we say 24 to 48. So this is not during peak times, 24 to 48 hours. Especially in their different scenarios. If you send this to your account manager, we have a group chat with your account manager. Usually you can get this within 24 hours. But then usually if you upload your quotation request on the application, usually it's 24 to 48 hours. And if it takes longer than that, then you have to mention to our account manager, and then we'll be able to deal with it. So usually I think 24 to 48. I think we can, unless there's someone from who's with Speedfulfill who could mention their experience here, how long it takes. I see.
Yeah, but usually it's like 24 to 48 hours. But also, always, guys, remember, I know how Swedish people are, because I know most of you are Swedish people. You just sit there and wait. And then instead of asking them, okay, what's taking long, what's happening, then you start to chat somewhere, they are bad, or this is bad, the GSR is bad, Speedfulfill is bad. What I would say, don't do that. Communicate with your agent, communicate with your account manager, and I promise you they will be on top of it. And you know it, Mark, every time it's someone especially in EM Academy, if I see it in the chat, in the Discord community, the first thing I do is I write to Mark, and I know in one of our live meeting, somebody complained that they are not fast enough. I wrote in the same meeting to Mark, and in the same meeting, the person raised their hand. Did you speak with Mark? Because he already has answered me about the thing I had. And the person was waiting for 3 days, and it took only 20 minutes, and she got her answer. Why? Because communication. So this is one of the main important things. Make sure to communicate. And if you don't have a supplier or agent that can communicate with you, then that's worth nothing. Skip it, go to the next one. That's what I'm saying. And me and Mark, we has worked a lot with this, with Speedfulfill especially.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think communication, like you said, I think that's a good point you brought up there with, I think it's the business culture or just the general culture. And yeah, I think, like you said, if you just, of course, because we have a backlog of pending quotations as well. So whenever sometimes it may, like I'll give you a scenario. I think one of them, I'm not sure I think from the EM Academy, for example, quotation might be done, but usually maybe there's a supervisor who has to double check that price. So the quotation has been done within 24, 48, but then maybe it didn't get past the supervisor. So you just have to ask the account manager, where is it? Then it will go through. So those are some scenarios of what may occur.
Amazing. Robin, I hope it answered your question. Usually within 24 to 48 hours, you get your answer. But if it's a product that's difficult to find, because what the agent needs to do and what the supplier needs to do to find actually a supplier of this, most of the times it's no problem. It's within the same time frame. But the worst thing that could happen, the supplier don't find your product, and what you do need to do, okay, you need to refund your customers. You lost a couple of hundred of euros or dollars on marketing, but then you know, okay, this is a good program. Then you can maybe in long-term work with your supplier to find a factory that actually can make this. That's how I work, and that's what I recommend you to do as well.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Guys, good questions. I love this when we have discussion. What I will do now, I will share my screen, what you need to think about as a dropshipper through Q4. And if you have any questions, just raise your hand. I hope my screen sharing will work. And for the EM members, I would say it's you have seen some of these slides before, because I prepared you already a couple of weeks ago about Q4, but now we have some new potential members that can join in and see what's happening. We have a question also in the chat. He's one of the EM members, and he writes, I can also vouch for Mark that the communication is really good. If there are any problems, which always comes up, no matter what agent you have, this is true, Mark can solve it. Yeah, Mark is the solving person of this. There's no problems, there's only solutions. Great input. Okay, guys, some of you have seen this, but when it comes to Black Friday and or the Q4, it's actually 3 big days to think about. It's the 24th of November with Black Friday. We have also Cyber Monday, which is just a couple of days later. And then, of course, there's Christmas sale. And with the Christmas sale for the Swedish people, it's of course the sale due until Christmas, but it's more mellandagsrea. This you need to work with as well. Don't forget about this, because this is a really good period to do a lot of sales when people still have money. What I go through here, some of them I will put a little bit more emphasis in, and some of them I won't put as much emphasis in. And actually, this time I will start from the bottom. From the bottom is that make sure that your pixel is really has a lot of data, a lot of information. And what I mean with this is, if you want to sell something in 2 weeks from now, what you're going to do is that you need to start to do a lot of traffic commercials. What's happening and what you guys need to do is to start slowly, do traffic campaigns and do engagement campaigns to make sure that your pixel is up and running if you are not ready to make the sales. This is one of the important things. And another important thing is, already now, it's almost too late, because my students and my Discord members, they learned about this a couple of weeks ago. What you need to do now is start to collect emails, because one of the best things to start and kick off and make it as long as possible with the Black Friday and also the Christmas sale and Cyber Monday is to send out emails to your clients. If you have a shop that is 1,000 emails or 2,000 emails you've collected, make sure to use this. When it comes to dropshippers, nobody works with this because they don't know how to do it and they don't know what to do. It's super easy to do it. And what I would recommend you, if you don't want to do it or you don't have the time to do it, make sure to hire an agency to help you with this, because this is very important and this is easy money. Last year, around 30% of my sales came from email marketing during Black Friday. And this year, I'm going to make sure that it's even higher percentage than this. Don't forget about this. This is a super good way to make some extra bucks, which won't cost you too much, at least not as much as social media marketing, which is really crazy. And then you see branding, branding, branding. 4 points is branding. And I'm gonna show you some examples how you can brand your website to make it more in the feeling. The way I have done it, of course, one of the biggest sales are Black Friday. So I have focused a little bit of Black Friday. And don't think just about your product page or your landing page, also your home page. It's very important that you brand it as much as possible. Make sure that it feels like Black Friday. Make sure if they come in, they will see. If they just see the word Black Friday or sale, I promise you they will buy, even if the price is the same as it was 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago or 1 month ago. They will buy because the perception is what's working. If the perception is just like this store or just like this example store, people will go crazy in your shop. This is an easy money to get. And the thing is, I told my community and my Discord members and my students, I don't like this countdown timers because it's looks scammy, doesn't look super good. But one time that is super important and it actually works is to use a countdown timer during Black Friday, because you give the impression and the customers get the impression, okay, if I don't buy now, I will miss out. And this is the best feeling you can give to one potential customer, because they will buy it. They will buy it because they don't want to miss out. Why should I be a loser if I can get 85% off my deal? So this is a super important thing to do, and have it in your cart, have it on the product page, make sure it's really shown. But when Black Friday is over, when Cyber Monday is over, or your Christmas sale is over, please take it away, because especially in the Swedish market or the Scandinavian market, this is not liked. And I have tested this. I have A/B tested this, and I actually do less sales when I have a counter like this. But during this period, it works super good. So please use it and make sure that it looks like this. And another thing that's very easy to do for all you guys, by the way, this is one of my winning products from last year. So please go on and do whatever you want with it. Make sure that the pictures, if you don't do anything else, the pictures you have for your product on your product page, just go into Canva, put one Black Friday sticker or something. This, I think it took me like maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I found a black balloons and this sticker, and here we go. This makes sales. And also you see on the other side, it's another one of, okay, this was not actually one of my winning products. I tried this, I failed it real hard. So, during Black Friday last year, but it's a big seller for some people. So if you don't have it, make sure to do it. Just like this, a Black Friday stamp on the pictures. This makes the feeling that, oh my God, this is on sale. Let's go for it. Let's do this real good. Let's see the next one. Yeah. And another thing you guys need to work with, I see it over and over again. During the period of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and also the Christmas sales, what I see that if people have ads running, they just leave it on running. And if they want to scale their ads, what they do, they continue scale it as before. And this won't work. During Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Christmas, if you don't have like Friday sales or a lot of discount, 40% off, or Black Friday special, and use this code BF. BF is a good code to use, BF for 30% off. If you don't have this in your ads, you won't be shown, you won't be seen. Even if people like the product, they don't see that it's a sale, and they don't see it's a Black Friday sale, they don't see it's a Cyber Monday sale, and for this reason, they won't buy it. And many of you people maybe thinks, okay, then what happens if I need to scale this? If you have an ad running and it's let's say it's a Black Friday special, you write it and you scale it, and you scale it with the same ad set all the time. If it still works, who cares about it? Scale it until June next year. If it works, do it. Don't bother about it. But the thing is, if you need to duplicate it and change it, and the Black Friday is gone, then just remove the Black Friday special things on it and let it go as normal. This is what I would recommend. These few videos I've showed you guys and pictures I showed you, this will make your sale go much, much higher than this. This is how it works. And guys, now we have, it's 8 o'clock, but I will open up for questions. I will open up for anything. And I will also end the recording probably right now. So if somebody wants to speak in Swedish and have a question in Swedish and they don't want to ask it in English, it's all okay. We can do it that way as well. So let me know. But before we end, for you who are not EM members, if you want to join in, I will send out an email for all of you with a special Black Friday. No Black Friday. I just showed you what I'm going to do, and then I do it. I will send out a little bit of information about this. If you want to join, I will also send a trial period for you guys who want to test, but you are not sure if you want to buy in. And from there on, if you're happy, you continue. If you're not happy, then it's your loss.